I'll start with a serious one.
Go on then, Jess.
So my serious one. Alberto Del Rio becomes WWE champion.
Oh my god. Could you imagine?
Like potatoes at various stages. There's a deep fat fryer to the side.
I've got Skips sellotaped to a baseball bat, and I do that Mick Foley thing where I'm like, This is one I really appreciate because it's bold from Bleacher Report, which are pretty mainstream in terms of wrestling media. But despite being opposite heel and face, finally, Bobby Lashley still won't get his match with desired Brock Lesnar.
It's happening at the Rumble.
It's happening at the Rumble.
Is it? Well, bugger me. Well, they're already wrong. How old's this article then?
Welcome to the Bearhug Club, a pro wrestling podcast of positivity.
Hello, everybody, and a big Happy New Year from the Bearhug Club podcast. Yes, we're back with Wednesday Night Paw after our little Christmas break. We're back with a new look, new style, new feel, but the same club. Greg here with Garrod and Jason. Scott is going to be eventually on his way. Typical on brand. New style, but same old shite. How's it going, boys? Having a good New Year so far?
I can't complain.
It's going all right so far, isn't it? It's not on fire yet.
No. Okay, well...
The key word being yet.
Yes. Something's going to happen.
Well, my kebab shop in Kingsbridge closed forever. So there's that. I have a very fond memory of going there during New Year's. I might have told you this story before, but I went there. I was drunk off my face, and then the kebab shop owner he like leaned over to me, and then he pointed at the sign for closed, and then went, and I was, oh, okay. And then I go and close the shop, and just me and him as he closes up gives me like 9 boxes worth of like chicken and chips and everything. And then we go to the bandstand for the New Year's countdown. Everyone's making out with everyone. I'm just munching on chicken. And now, just after this New Year's, it's closed.
Ah,
no warning. I was like ready. I was excited. I was even there. Like I wasn't doing anything on New Year's, but I was I drove in just to see if I could get it for like nostalgia's sake, and it was closed, which is not fine. I literally messaged my friend. I was like, I can't believe they're closed on New Year's. They'd be making a killing today. And yeah, what were we talking about? Wrestling podcast.
It wouldn't be one of our podcasts if we didn't go on some sort of tangent.
Yeah, it's what people come for, you know. Stay for the wrestling chatter, hear the random other bullshit that goes on alongside it from us. That's the whole point. Well,
also, it looks like I'm just like it looks like I'm just like stroking my peen here, but I'm actually it's Oreo. So just to clarify that.
Coming this year is the Bearhug Club OnlyFans.
Yeah,
it's where the money is now.
Shirt. Speaking of, we'll be talking after this podcast about our potential next steps for some little merchandise here and there. We've had our prototypes. By prototypes plural, I mean singular hat. But we're going to be looking into some lovely merchandise.
Hell yeah. Well, it's all part of our next phase with the Bearhug Club. So we'll kind of go into a little bit here. So there's going to be a little bit of a change up to the podcast. We're going to be kind of reintroducing sort of things like little segments to go along with the big topics we're talking about. Wednesday Night Paw change up a little bit as well. Like, we're not going to be recording official podcast episodes every Wednesday Night Paw, but there will be something on Wednesday Night Paw. Typically, we're going more towards streaming now. Maybe playing video games on a stream or just watching some wrestling matches. Whatever we feel like doing. Also, we're shifting the website. We're going to be doing a lot more other content. I know Garrod is excited to be doing sort of more video game-based content for the website. Isn't that right?
I like to complain about things, Greg, and if I get to complain about things even more on an online forum, I'm going to be doing that.
This is why you should be like my permanent co-host on Young Men Yell Like Clouds.
Well, I think you and I would be very good at commentary because you'd be so good at a play-by-play, and I'm just the arse. I'm the arsehole in the corner, just like just burying people. You know, I'm only there really because I know the owner of the company. Because I am not putting over anyone. I am just like you're just like, oh, what a great a tiger suplex into an armbar, and I'm just like fucking Treasure Planet, man. Treasure Planet deserve better. And anyway.
Anywho, yeah. So
I would actually love to see that in a WrestleMania. Michael Cole there, he's given it what a maneuver, vintage, and then Corey Graves is just there, just Harry and the Hendersons. What a film that is! Nothing to do
just
with what's
completely
going
on a tangent.
Yeah, and he's not.
Absolutely.
The weird thing about Corey Graves, real life relationship with Carmella. But very often when she's in a match, he's putting over her opponent. I know he gets told to do that
because he's a
realism.
consummate professional. He is a professional, Jace. All right. I don't want you to call into question Corey Graves' a black square. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Happy New Year, boys.
Hell
Happy
yeah.
New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, boys.
Going on
yeah,
background
boys.
there. Let's fix that. There we go.
Well, so in the year that we've had, we began a podcast. We then had an anniversary of the said podcast. We've chatted, we've done stuff, but now it's time for a new chapter. It's time for something completely not derivative. It is time for Bearhug Club Day 2.
Whoa.
And much like the thing we're deriving from and not being derivative from WWE Day 1, not much is changing. We're just going to keep the same sets. We're going to talk the same shit, but we're going to probably just do a bunch more things.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're trying to move forward with doing more things for YouTube as best we can, given that we're opposite ends of the country, but we'll figure something out. We'll figure it out.
We'll find a middle ground. It'll probably be Middlesbrough or something. Who knows?
Middlesbrough.
That's not really middles. That's not middle ground, Scott. That's our way.
further north than
I assume it has middle in the name that it's in the Midlands. Where else? Birmingham, maybe? I don't know.
No, that just got voted worst place to live in the UK.
Okay, what about
Stockport?
Well, we're not living there, though. We're not going there to live there.
Yeah, but why would you want to go somewhere that shit?
So
No offense to people who live in Birmingham.
It's a wrestling town. Birmingham is a wrestling hub. That's our whole thing. We'll probably end up going to see AEW in Birmingham, no doubt. Because we'll probably not be able to get tickets till when they go to London.
All of British Strong Style are from Birmingham in one way or another. I guess Black Country is an extension of Birmingham, but it still counts in my eyes. We could meet in Nottingham. I guess that's that is the literal Midlands. Nottingham.
Anyway, enough about English geography. There are a few things that are going to be happening, like Greg said, with opening up the website. We are going to be doing a bunch more variety of things. We're mostly going to be doing something to do with wrestling every Wednesday, and then also some things at other times as well, focusing on streams, etc. Blah 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 blah. Then also we're going to be doing some more video content. By the end of this year, we're going to be making predictions as we do this video, but here is my predictions, not for the wrestling world, which we'll get into, which is going to be more of the meat of the actual podcast. Predictions for Bearhug Club. Prediction number 1 is we will at least have at least one episode of Deathmatch Science done, where I drive to wherever you are and one of you puts me through a table and we talk about the history of tables. We'll interview people who have gone through tables, it's gone right, when it's gone wrong, all of this kind of thing. We'll work out the actual ins and outs of it as we go along, but we will have that done by the end of the year. My next prediction is that by next podcast, I will be able to tell you how my first session back at wrestling went, because I reached out to a local promotion near me, and I'll be going on Monday for a first taster session that's 3 hours long, and then I'll probably continue doing that. So those are my 2 predictions. 1, Deathmatch Science will happen, and 2, I will be wrestling training. I don't know if I'd have a match by the end of the year, but ideally I would.
Prediction for 2023: Garrod Winter, Simon Miller.
Prediction for 2023: I get in a horrific accident and am paralyzed from the neck down.
Ooh.
Then how would you face Simon Miller?
In my wheelchair.
Wheelchair deathmatch.
Him and Simon just redo Kane and Zack Ryder. Simon just pushes him off the stage.
Yeah.
Embrace the hate, Garrod.
I think I feel like people would still book me to win.
I feel like what you could do is challenge him to be like the new Progress MC. Given that that's his role now, fighting for that. I mean, not to brag, I did have a call off the new owners of Progress.
You did.
Just asking if I was going.
please come, please. I swear we're not that good friends with WWE anymore. Please.
Hey, you know what though?
We have some wrestlers left, please.
You know what? The new show is shaping up quite nicely, but they've already got what was his name out of Imperium and Sanity's appearing there.
It was
Axel Tisha, I think.
Axel, yeah.
Yeah. So he's appeared. So still kind of all right using ex-WWE guys apparently. So yeah, so it's looking like an all right show. To be fair, I'm hoping they do well.
To be fair,
think Simon Miller's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, they had to go with like a YouTube personality. To be fair, to get the big chatter about them brewing again. It's either them or I don't know, Pacitti, but then that doesn't feel quite right either because of how well WCPW went. So yeah.
See,
WCPW had some bangers before it.
They did have some great matches, and then that.
If Simon Miller was who they landed on, who do you think they actually asked, if anyone, before Simon?
I bet they went through. I bet they asked people like Grado. I bet they went through people like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Martin Kirby,
Sure. Kirby's just gone to Japan to wrestle now, hasn't he?
Has he?
So I wouldn't. I think he has. I'd have to check that. I know he was at least when the pandemic started or pre-pandemic. But I'm sure they asked people like that, perhaps, or questioned people like that before possibly landing on Simon Miller. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that was their first person they asked, though, after thinking of people to go for. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, it's different than your classic gym, but it's not a bad pick.
No,
it's not bad at all.
I think maybe they're trying to get on side with What Culture, get a bit of that publicity. I don't know how well What Culture videos do these days.
Yeah,
I stopped watching a while ago. Yeah,
I honestly, the only What Culture I watch now is What Culture video games.
Yeah, so the video game stuff's good, but even then, it's all they do now is lists, and it's the same list that we've seen about 5 times now. Yeah, it's come on, guys.
I don't think that's too much of the thought process with them. I think I don't know. I think it's I don't think they're too worried about that. I mean, if anyone watches What Culture, they're already probably Progress fans anyway, or more likely to go. So I don't think there's much of a bonus.
I disagree. I don't know. I disagree. I think maybe at one point in time when it was the original What Culture crew, because obviously they started WCPW with that lot. I think since then, obviously more like people like us are now lapsed fans. We don't watch it. They'll have got new people in who maybe don't know much about the indie wrestling because they still mainly only focus on the mainstream.
Sure, perhaps.
Yeah, I think whoever's kind of not sticking around for Simon Miller and the other Adam guy have now been siphoned through to either Cultaholic or Wrestle Talk. Yeah, that's how it goes. Just they both make so much bloody content. You either have to pick one or another.
It's true.
Pretty much.
They do just shuffle out content. It is a shame, I think, because half of the lists are all just like that. There are like 10 different lists that are basically just the same thing with a different spin on it.
That's basically all both of them do, really. They're
kind of yeah. I mean, they've taken the BuzzFeed approach to making content. Have you ever tried to read something on the What Culture website?
Oh, it's just adverts. You just
it's awful.
Gangbanged by adverts.
Actually makes me annoyed. I don't get gangbang adverts. Those are usually tailored to you. So I mean, to each their own. That's fine.
You get gangbanged by the adverts.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Ding. Caught in 4K.
This one's going in my cringe compilation. But yeah, it's fucking awful, and it's a shame because I think a lot of their journalistic stuff. Well, okay, journalistic stuff is not really fair with a lot of wrestling YouTubers because it is literally just they're like, I mean, Cultaholic, for example, while they're great personalities, and I think that's why people watch Cultaholic and these people. It's literally their news things are just 10 minutes after Dave Meltzer or Fightful has reported something, and that's all wrestling media is at this point. It's just regurgitating what those journalists have said, and often kind of butchering it, which is a shame.
Yeah. It's just kind of going through like internet Twitter with a nit comb and just finding whatever comes out sort of thing. Like, a wrestler would tweet something incredibly vague about either a potential feud or something that's happening backstage, and then a narrative will just get grown from that because kind of there has to be, to support a consistent conveyor belt line of journalism, there has to always be a story. And when there's a quiet news week, a story has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's not exclusive to wrestling journalism. That's just journalism.
That's journalism.
To be fair, yes. Yes.
It just so happens that it happens a lot with wrestling because obviously wrestlers in WWE, they don't really control their own social media. Everything has to be approved before they can post it. So they might put something out that's completely innocuous, but journalists to be like, oh, so they've been told to tweet this, that therefore that must mean this. And they add 2 and 2 together and get 27.
I would say we're quite lucky with the mainstream YouTube wrestling channels that exist, in that they aren't too, maliciously, clickbaity, newsy, showbiz news. They, for the most part, just wish people the best and don't shit on people, which is, ideal. And I'm here to change that.
Garrod's the bad boy of wrestling.
I'm the bad boy of the pod, I wear a black shirt, which makes me the evil guy. Well, no, every generic wrestling fan.
I think we're all wearing black shirts today as well.
I'm wearing a Shingo Takagi shirt after Wrestle Kingdom that just happened earlier today and yesterday, 2 days.
All right, well, give us a rundown of what happened at Wrestle Kingdom then, Garen.
Well, there were 2 days, and I haven't really enjoyed that much, to be honest with you. It's been a pretty rough year for New Japan, for any New Japan fan. I'm sure they'd agree. What is interesting is, and I think I've spoken about this a long time ago, last year, but during the pandemic, the reason that that Western wrestling hasn't had any crowds is because you can't really control a Western crowd because we're all assholes. Whereas a Japanese crowd, even to this day, do not make a sound. They will not speak a word because they are asked not to speak anything. They are asked not to cheer. They simply clap, which is it's very strange hearing like okay, that clap is definitely that clap is a heel clap. You can tell, and that clap is for the face. You can tell that's a face clap. Like they'll do a specific clap to like mirror them going like Naito, so they'll be like. Or they'll do like an Okada, and it's great. But as for the actual show, not great. I will say Tomohiro Ishii ended up having a match with Evil. Evil is not in the good books with many IWC Internet Wrestling Culture fans. And it wasn't great. What else happened? I don't know. The standouts really were that they are featuring Noah. And Noah are going to have like more of a thing, I believe, with them going forward. Like pretty much the entire locker room stood in the ring, and I just want to see. I want to see Marufuji face everyone because he's my favorite wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler that isn't Miro. And they also had a Stardom match. They're featuring the women, and honestly, that was the best match on the card. Was the women's match? I would recommend watching them. Yeah, I would recommend watching them over any other matches on the card.
How was Shibata's return? Because I was very excited to hear this. And then obviously, well, when they first announced it, it was like, what was the name of the rules? Where no strikes.
Yeah, no strikes. They're basically
like on the day, pretty much, right?
So he came out against Ren Narita, who he trained, and basically took the mic and then said, I'm changing the rules. It's a proper wrestling match. And then like, the commentators, the English commentary, because I don't speak Japanese, were basically saying, has he gone into business for himself? And that was the thing they were running with. I have no idea if that's legit, if he went into business for himself. The match itself was still relatively light. Like they went to the mat, they did a lot of mat work and a lot of graps here and there. But to see Shibata do a running corner drop kick, and to see him do, all these strikes and get him in a headlock, do a PK, all this kind of thing is exactly what I've missed. If you haven't watched any Shibata stuff, just go and watch it. It doesn't feel like he's missed a step, but it does feel like they're just taking their time, making sure, because for the same reason that Daniel Bryan didn't come back for a while, it was a bad injury. It was a bad time for the old noggin. If you want to depress yourself, please go and look at Shibata Headbutt on YouTube.
Yeah,
that one where like I think it's against Okada, and that like single drop of blood comes down like this. While it looks cool as shit, it's also like, oh my guy, please stop. No.
Yeah. Well, like one of my all-time favorite matches is him and Tomohiro at the G1 Climax back in 2014.
Sure.
And it's just 10 minutes of them basically levering the fuck out of each other, and then there is a point where they're just straight headbutting each other, and it's just not pretty. Especially when you look back on what happened. Yeah.
Matt Riddle put it best. Shibata is a stallion because when you are a wrestler whose nickname given to you is the wrestler, you're doing something right. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I think fingers crossed we see more of that. What else? Okada is back on top. They had him teasing the old belt to come back, and then he just kind of got rid of it and is now ushering in the new belt era, which is the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental fused. So he is now the fourth champion of that.
Did he beat Ospreay then? I'm guessing
he did beat Ospreay. He beat Shingo in the first night, and then went on to beat Ospreay in the second night. The matches were fine. I think I
See-
preferred the Shingo match.
This is the thing I think, which is why they've had a bit of a bland year as well. It feels like they're at the point where they should be trying to like push newer names, newer talent. I feel like they just keep playing it safe. I mean, you look at the G1 when we said that was a pretty lackluster one because it's kind of like the same names we've seen. Predictable winner, and it's kind of been the same with Wrestle Kingdom now. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people feel that way. There are a few up and coming talents here and there. I think they just need the borders to open up, to be honest. They need just a lot of talent to come over and see him. Hopefully we'll get a lot of AEW crossover. I don't know. It's the thing is with Okada is like when we talk about aged wrestlers in WWE, Okada has just hit the point where wrestlers get into their prime, and he's been the best in the world for like 5, 6, 7 years, and he's just hit the point where most wrestlers get into their prime. He is the best wrestler of all time, and he also has said and expressed that he wants to face Daniel Bryan, he wants to face CM Punk. So if he wants to be the flagship of New Japan, but it means that he's gonna open it up and be a world champion this year, then I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess we'll see what happens. Well, I suppose on that note, it ties nicely into the main meat of this episode. So we're just going to be casting our 2022 predictions in wrestling this year. Just covering the whole scope. I've told the boys to either go as serious as they want with these predictions, or just go absolutely batshit crazy with them, just to see what could actually happen. Who's got one to kick us off with?
I'll start with a serious one.
Go on then, Jace.
So my serious one, Alberto Del Rio becomes WWE champion.
Oh my god! Could you imagine what Twitter would look like afterwards?
No,
oh
this
my
is
god! It'd be no
this
man's
is just
land.
obviously this
Before you get
is
to that,
a
Jace, I'm
joke.
sure he said recently in an article he's waiting for the call from AEW any day now, and I was like, no, you're not there.
Any day now.
I've seen it reported
By the
that
phone every day, like, yeah, this might be it.
I've seen it reported that he's in talks with AEW, he's in talks with Impact, he's in talks with WWE. He's just casting that net as wide as he can.
Sending an email and not getting a reply is not in talks. He's just spamming them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he's doing.
It's the Eminem song Stan. It's like, hey AEW, it's Albert again. Did you get my last message?
While he's doing all of this, he's still throwing shade at Paige.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't be doing that to our Norwich gal. Come on.
In all seriousness, my actual prediction with Alberto,
princess.
my actual prediction with Alberto Del Rio, every company puts out a statement essentially just saying, "Fuck off, you cunt."
all in unison at the same time.
It's the one time
he is going to be what
Ring
unites
Honor,
every
Impact,
company.
AEW and WWE in the same room.
Ring of Honor are going to come back. WCW are going to come back just to say no.
Vince will just turn around and say, "You're fired from the wrestling world."
Fuck off. Lovely. We're making friends. We're starting as we want to go on this podcast.
We're now enemies with Norwich.
No, we've just picked up Paige. We're okay with Norwich now.
Yeah, we're good with Norwich. We're back in their good graces.
Just for future, if I'm wrestling in a couple of years and I've been booked against Alberto against my will, I am not privy to this. I didn't consent to this, and I'm a good worker. Please book me. Please don't go into business for yourself. I'm just a humble guy who knows how to do
so many one-way emails from Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto,
Alberto,
if you're watching this, Garrod wrote that.
Yeah, you did. Email him again and again.
Yeah, he was the one who told me to say it.
He's the one who's been telling all the companies not to book you, mate.
Yeah.
Well,
It's been going on like a massive campaign.
yeah,
with
all that
email.
sway I have with all,
Yeah.
with all the companies.
He's like the Moriarty of the wrestling world. He just controls everything from the shadows.
He's playing a big chess game, and we're the pawns. We're the pawns, I say.
You call him the puppet
That's a good
master.
prediction. That's
What,
a great
Garrod
prediction.
gets killed by Del Rio.
Garen gets killed by Del Rio. I need to see how many people in the wrestling world I can absolutely piss off to the point where like every match I would ever be booked in as a shoot match. Just for Simon Miller can't grow hair. Ooh, got him.
The thing is,
Come
your
after
door
me.
is
No, I think
your
he's
door
okay
is
with
ajar
that.
behind you. Your door is ajar behind you. I'm expecting
Yeah.
someone to walk in at any moment and just fully get you into a Shayna Baszler style rear naked choke. You go down like your whole mic system.
Someone just puts a black bag
Yeah, but
over
I
his head
don't
and drags
tap.
him
I
out the
don't
ring.
tap. So I don't tap. It makes me look strong. I don't tap.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, you got
But-
to look strong in defeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, what we need to do is basically train Garrod to be like a Shibata, so when he gets into these shoot fights, he can actually win them.
Exactly.
Do you think you can do that in a year?
I have martial arts training. I have, I did kickboxing for a good 7 months. Do I
did
remember any of it?
Taekwondo I did
No.
Taekwondo for 6 years. I still can't win a fight.
Yeah.
And who better to train Garrod than us? People who live many, many, many miles away from him. And
Yeah.
can just coach him from here.
I'll tell you the
we
main
will
thing
be
I'm
your
excited
Mr.
about.
Miyagi's.
Here is my prediction for next Wednesday, because I haven't taken a bump in. When did we do wrestling? How long ago did we wrestle, Scott? Like 2 years ago now, 3?
Oh, no, more than that. I want to say we're approaching 4 odd years since we did that.
So since I've taken a bump, it's about that long ago, and a little bit after you stopped. I was still taking a few, and as Scott and anyone who's taken a lot of bumps will attest, my neck is going to fucking kill me on Wednesday next week. I will not be able to move it. I will just be in my chair like this with a brace on. And that's my prediction for next week. I won't be able to move my goddamn neck.
The thing is, one of the exercises they taught us to do at that Lucha Pro Wrestling school we went to in London, one of the first things they got us to do as we were doing the warm-ups, they got us in a sit-up position, but you're not sitting up. You're just lying down, cross your arms across your chest, knees, feet on the floor, knees up, and they get you to roll up on your head so that your whole body weight is then supported on the back of your head and your neck until the top of your head is flat on the floor.
And you do that for at least 15 minutes, just you
literally feel your brain getting fucking pushed.
So I tried
that.
that. So because I emailed the place this morning saying cool, I'll be there on Monday for training, and I was like, well, I guess I better do that neck training. I cannot do that anymore.
No.
I cannot do that. We got to the point where I was doing it and it didn't feel as bad, but I cannot lift myself with my neck anymore. So that's something I need to do again.
Because now I've got more because in uni I was very skinny. Now I've got a little bit more weight to me. Now my neck will just snap like an old Pringle. It will just go.
It has to be an old Pringle.
Yeah, no, a new Pringle would show at least more gusto.
I know, you know what? I think old Pringles get a little bit more soggy and have a little bit more.
Yeah, they've got a bit more giving.
Tensile strength to them.
In which case, yes, I would.
I will be a new Pringle, a young Pringle,
Baby Pringle. That's Scott's new name, Baby Pringle.
I am Baby Pringle. Hold on, one second.
Baby Pringle.
You could do quite a fun gimmick around that.
How do you change your name on this?
Your manager is the fucking Pringles guy. Just that.
Come on, kid. Once you pop, you can't stop. Come on.
No, that'd be a good gimmick if you wanted to take the piss, because New Day used to come out, throw the pancakes. Scott comes out, chucking Pringles at
Throws
four.
Pringles, yeah.
But he
Just
doesn't-
full
he
on,
doesn't
full
open-
unopened
no.
tubes.
No,
like,
no, yeah,
Tubes.
exactly. Just pelting a
Feeds
tube
a
at people's heads.
See the little kid there.
Alex! Let's see how many audience members I can get concussed. Maybe they'll enjoy my matches better.
Force feed them salt and vinegar
Salt
until
and
they.
vinegar.
To be fair, salt and vinegar Pringles are very vinegary. I reckon it'll only take me a tub and a half till they tap.
It's unless they've
Tub and
got
a half.
squares to like fight back against you.
Oh, you know what? If you know what, there we go. Salt and vinegar deathmatch will be my first wrestling match.
I really hate that the first thing that came into my mind, like before you even said that, the first thing that came to my mind is like you getting like a big black bag and going, ooh, and everyone's like, oh, thumbtacks, and you pour it out and it's just like hula hoops or something, you know?
Just every kind of crisp. You've got Walkers, you've got Pringles, you've got squares, you've got discos, you've got Space Raiders, just everything.
Yeah, you have a carb street fight where it's just
I've got those, like-
a bunch of different crisps, like potatoes at various stages. There's a deep fat fryer to the side.
I've got skips sellotaped to a baseball bat, and I do that big Foley thing where I'm like,
Oh my god.
See, I'm just imagining your opponent though, who's come in taking it all seriously. They've gone under the ring. They've got like a barbed wire 2x4, and then you come out skips on a baseball bat, and they're just like,
I thought you.
Pulls out a big fit like bit of plywood, but it's like instead of like barbed wire or thumbtacks into it, it's just Doritos sticking up.
Oh yeah, that would hurt. I think that actually would hurt.
flaming,
if someone actually
flaming hot
comes out-
Doritos on a table.
Oh yeah, no, like get him to blade, like, and then just be like, oh, I'm gonna rub flaming hot on the wound and really rub it in.
Frazzles
Salt
on a
and vinegar-
pole match.
salt and-
I'm imagining someone blading with a little bacon rasher.
Oh yeah.
just there for 20 minutes. Just
Come on.
It's nothing but crumbs now. Let it go.
Deathmatch science special episode. How long does it take me to blade with every different type of crisp? Which crisp lends itself to blading the best?
It's the worst has got to be Quavers. Let's face facts right now. Quavers
Quavers
are
would probably be pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
any
my
kind of
god.
crap shit that we
Fuck
fight
you, Ali. The Royal Crumble.
Genius.
Give her a packet of crisps.
Speaking
Well
of
done.
the
Yeah.
Royal Crumble, coming up this month
Whoa.
is the Royal Rumble. And WWE is very unpredictable right now. It's so unpredictable that Brock Lesnar is the new champion. Is the new WWE champion.
Sorry, Biggie. Sorry, Biggie.
Oh my god.
We all know now, if Xavier Woods ever wins the WWE Championship, he's losing it to Brock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Big E Championship has been one of the worst booked championships in forever.
I
He
didn't watch
lost.
it. Was it worse than Kofi?
Worse than
Yeah, it was worse than Kofi's reign.
You reckon?
It was worse. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Go
I'd say
go
it
back.
was
He
marginally
lost.
better.
He lost every single week since he's been champion.
Really?
I think,
thought he won
ish.
at least some of
He's
them.
lost. He's lost. Fuck. I'll get it up. Like when he lost.
Yeah, he's lost to Rollins, he's lost to
Yeah.
Owens, he's lost to
Lost to
Lashley.
Lashley. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's lost
The
to
only-
Roman.
There was only one reason I would say which makes like the Big E one only marginally better than the Kofi one, and that's not even like a wrestling reason. It's just a general like celebrity personality reason, and that was that he did the opening package to the Fury versus Wilder fight. That was of course on pay-per-view. He did like the hype package for it and did the voice for it.
So he won the title on the 13th of September. On the 20th of September, he lost to Roman and Triple Threat and the Bloodline. He lost to the Usos by countout on the 10th of October. Lost to Rollins and the Usos on the 15th of November. Lost to Roman at Survivor Series. Lost to Owens by DQ on the 29th of November. Lost to Lashley on the 13th of December. And loses to Brock at day one. If you're going to give someone your main title, don't have them lose. How is it hard? How is it this hard? They're your champion. Don't have them lose. Am I going crazy? What is going on?
Or
Well,
if they're gonna lose, make it a rare thing and have it mean something. That's the only time a champion should lose.
So
Well,
many
it's like
DQ and count out finishes, dude.
it's like Rey Mysterio when his first reign with the world title. He lost every week, won at a pay-per-view. When Paul London and Brian Kendrick were the WWE Tag Team Champions, they lost every week. Bearing in mind, they were champions for over a year.
Oh, they had a long run, yeah.
They lost every episode of SmackDown, but then pulled it out at a pay-per-view. But they'd lose like a tag match, then they'd lose 2 single matches, then they'd have a pay-per-view, and they'd lose there. And they'd win there.
Yeah, but but the difference obviously is that these are relatively like smaller guys, and their story is that they're supposed to be underdogs. This is Big E.
Yeah.
There's Big in his name. He's got Big. Big is his first name. He's got a letter for his second name.
He's in his name.
I just can't.
Big Ecstasy, that's his full name.
It's ridiculous, but that leads us into a prediction for the Royal Rumble. Who is winning the Royal Rumble? Here's a spoiler. I don't think it will matter because I believe it's going to be Roman versus Brock for titles at Mania.
Apparently, there's been reports saying that isn't going to be the case, but who can we trust at this point?
Well, we can't trust, even if it isn't the case right now, it probably will be,
change,
because whoever they do have plans for will be fired.
Yeah, that's true.
See, what we've seen with WWE putting out full stories, this could be a case of WWE putting out a full story, and they actually do have an actual plan. They just trying to make it out like they don't. So then when whatever happens at the Rumble happens, it's actually a surprise.
See, I mean, I don't think it's a false story because these kind of things are just leaked from people internally who are just sick of what's going on. And they're usually trusted sources because there are a lot of people sick of what's going on. I think that... I mean...
Honestly, looking at the roster, there's no one there that I would look at and say, I really want them to win. I feel like this will be a predictable pick. Yeah,
because, Greg, you are looking in the wrong place. For it is not on the roster in which the WWE Royal Rumble will be won. Nay, it is not the roster. For the winner of the Royal Rumble match has already been announced. And it's right in front of your faces. For there's a movie coming out rather soon. In a couple of weeks' time, in fact.
Yeah,
a movie called Jackass Forever. And one Johnny Knoxville has already announced himself for the Royal Rumble. And I say, that's my big prediction for 2022. Johnny Knoxville wins the Royal Rumble and gets to main event WrestleMania in a triple threat between him, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns.
And he'll get absolutely decimated.
But movie...
He's only there to take the pinfall.
That's a way to protect both men. Have them be in a match, but one other person who's definitely not a wrestler.
It's a Johnny Knoxville on a pole match, and it's once you get him down, you're able to pin him.
Yeah.
Only after he does some sick stunts.
No, he's just there to be a snack for Brock before he faces Roman.
Okay, my pick for winning the Rumble. I don't know why I bother because I'm just an internal optimist at this point. Tommaso Ciampa. Now that if you haven't heard, he lost the NXT Championship.
Yes, yeah.
To Bronald Breakker.
Bronald
Breakker. Yes, to Bronald Breakker, and his dad came out.
Wasn't that after
Rick
the cameras
Breaker.
went off air though as well?
Yeah, they didn't
They're
even.
They're still trying to be like, like, who's his dad? What? And then when the cameras go, it's like, okay, go give him a hug now. It's like,
Yeah.
we know he's a Steiner. Who are you trying to fool?
Well, I think that Tommaso Ciampa will be the. I don't think that that's going to happen, but I'll make that prediction anyway. That's my men's pick. And my women's pick, I don't know. They don't have enough women on the fucking roster to fill 30 women. There's like 7 on SmackDown and like 4 on Raw.
Gonna have to be calling up the legends again.
Yeah, they're going to be
They're gonna
calling up the
have
legends
to.
again.
Hold on, is there any women on Jackass? Let me just check.
Well, and here's the fucking thing. They've already put Maurice and Beth Phoenix in a match at Royal Rumble, so they're going to have to pull double duty.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have said maybe Beth if they're going all in on her return.
No, I want to call it
doubt it,
Asuka.
Right,
Yeah,
has Asuka
bound to
been on
return.
TV much recently? I can't remember the last
She's
time.
been
She
in-
hasn't been
injured.
seen since she lost the title.
She's been
surprise
injured
return
or
then.
recovering from surgery, yeah.
I'm saying Asuka.
Yeah,
It's
I
not a
got
bad
that.
shout as a little comeback, but I don't.
First ever
I don't think
two-time
they
winner.
will.
First 2-time women's winner.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
on. Get retribution on Charlotte. Because someone needs to fucking do it.
I hope Selena Vega wins it. You know?
Not happening.
No,
You're like a pipe dream.
my women's choice is it's Liv Morgan's winning, and then
I would love Liv Morgan to win.
I would love Liv Morgan to win. She should have beat Becky, but whatever. I think they'll have her win this and then continue that program until WrestleMania.
Thing is, though, they're not gonna. I think the only reason they didn't have Liv go over is because they weren't going to give away 2 huge title changes on free TV.
Possibly. I have no answers for what they're doing.
And it was the first time Lesnar had a proper match on free TV for how many years? Kofi doesn't count.
Sure. Was it TV? Was that on TV? Day one? On It was a Saturday, wasn't it?
It was
I'm sure
their
it's on their
first.
TV.
Did they simulcast it on TV? No, I swear
Oh.
I swear it was pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, it's
I don't think it was
premium event now. That's what they call it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Premium live event.
That's what they call it.
Or play.
Hey, at least they're on Saturdays this year. Apparently, all the big events are on Saturdays this year.
I'll take that over
Good.
waking up on actually not waking up on a Monday, just continuing to be awake for the Monday. I've got a prediction.
Go on.
I'm going to predict now. This is a big one. The match that will not main event but will steal the show at WrestleMania. The match that will be that like people will be like, damn, that was like the good wrestling match on a show which will probably have a lot of headlines and a lot of like good stuff happening at it. I reckon this year's WrestleMania will be pretty good, but I reckon the match that will steal the 2-day show will be RK Bro versus Street Profits.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
I don't think they're going to be against Street Profits, but
I don't think they'll last until Mania.
No?
No,
I think that's going to be
you're
that's going to
probably
be a
right.
match at Mania.
The match is
Yeah,
gonna be
Match at
them
Mania is
against
going to be
each other.
Orton and Riddle.
You reckon
Makes
they'll break it up
sense.
that early? They're selling merch.
Scott,
I mean-
Scott.
This is WWE. we're
okay,
talking
okay.
about.
I know who we're talking about.
Do you
but
reckon they'll break them up that early? Do you remember the Hurt Business? Do you remember
do.
Raw Underground? Do you remember anything?
Well,
Huh?
hang on.
Anything?
They
I'd
got
say
to
that-
stick with something.
I think
They've got to.
you're misjudging the time frame because like the whole Matt Riddle, Randy Orton thing's actually been going on for quite a while now.
But it
It's
should
been
be
a long
going on
story.
longer. It should be longer.
No, it's like Jace is right. It's happening at Mania. That's what they've been building to. That's the whole
He
point.
is right. He is right.
But
You're going to lose the
Randy Orton
title
looks like he's
to
having so much
Otis and
fun.
Gable at the Rumble,
The biggest
and then
problem.
that's going to be the feud.
The biggest problem is they'll have a blow off, and the match will probably be really fucking good.
Mhm.
But then Matt Riddle will sit in catering for a few months. Even if he wins, is often the case. Even if he fucking wins, he'll just sit in catering.
I don't want him to. He's really good.
Yeah,
I love
remember when
Riddle.
Cesaro had a really big WrestleMania moment? Was it last year or the year before?
It was,
I don't know.
it was last
It
year.
was last year.
2021. He
I had
beat
a
Rollins.
corker of a match with Rollins, and it was great. And then it was like, oh well, back down the card you go.
Oh no, he had a good feud with Roman
Yeah, that was good. That
for
was very
2 weeks. Then it was like, right, fuck off.
good.
Don't like it.
He was on day one, tag teaming with Ricochet, and he lost. But
Losing
still,
against
Pre-show.
Sheamus, losing against Sheamus and Guy with a stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
after Guy with the Stick got injured. Yeah.
Bring back the bar.
Bring back the greatest Royal Rumble. 50 entrants.
To be fair,
A trophy.
Strowman still holds that
A
title.
horrible belt. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Go
He
get
still
off
holds
Strowman,
it.
aren't they?
He's not even in the
I
company
would-
anymore, and he still has that title.
I would have loved it if he brought it to his Ring of Honor appearance.
That would have been brilliant.
Just set fire to it in the ring.
Yeah, doing a
Go
London
on.
Blaze and
Yeah,
throw
put
it in the
bin.
Trash
bin.
can.
That's assuming you think he actually has the belt. That'll be on some Saudi prince's mantelpiece, probably.
Yeah, probably.
He was
No, it'll
not
be in
allowed
some
to do
Saudi
that.
prince's
Yeah,
bloody
no.
basement. They don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Be the hood ornament for their car. Ultimate flex.
No, it's their actual seatbelt.
Yeah.
Garrett's face!
He's thinking about doing that to his car.
Well, I'm thinking about if I'm wrestling and I get invited to do a Saudi show, I'm taking the money. So I'm you know, that's all I'm saying. If I get a Saudi bag, fucking
To be fair, we haven't said
Sign me up.
anything. We haven't said anything bad about the Saudis.
No.
I don't
no,
think, have we?
I'm
be
just
fair-
hedging. I'm just hedging my bets, and you guys can have this conversation.
Right, you're
And to
telling
be
me
fair-
if you had the amount of money the Saudi royal family had, you wouldn't have a WWE championship as your seatbelt.
I would.
I'll have
Yeah.
a match happen in my swimming pool.
I'm too
Like-
rich. I'm too rich to wear seatbelts, Jace. My car is like nothing. Like I crash, I don't feel it. That's the way I live.
And it wouldn't
I
crash.
also
You
don't take a car.
crash, all that
I don't
oil
take a
money
car
just comes
anywhere.
and cushions you.
I simply fly. I'll use it as my helicopter seatbelt.
Prediction for 2023.
You don't have an airbag, you have an, air,
Garrett's
you have an
match.
air model.
Garrett's match with
Model
Simon
comes
Miller.
out, boom.
He's in a golden-plated wheelchair, doing a with stacks of money either side, and Simon Miller recreates the Embrace the Hate storyline and pushes him off.
And I win the trophy that was a mountain.
Yes.
Oh yeah, who's the holder of that? Is it Undertaker?
Well, it was Undertaker, but he walked out, wasn't supposed to be in the match, won, and then just looked at it as he was leaving and carried on. Just didn't even pick it up. Just like
So no one won it.
The thing is, that's the thing that WWE have started doing now, just randomly adding people to the match last minute. Like they did it with The Undertaker. They've done it with Lesnar twice.
I honestly think that trading standards wise, and I mean this legit, they should be in a lot of hot water for how they advertise things. They've had people be injured, and then we've learned about it online. We know that they're injured. We know that they won't be wrestling or they've got COVID or whatever, but they advertise them even still to the day. And then 10 minutes before they go, no, Sasha Banks can't make it to this match, and here's someone else. Like, what was it? The Carmella was a stand-in for some match. That was just one of the many times this happens.
Isn't
And they
isn't that
know.
when they brought Becky back? It was
well,
meant
that's
to
what
be Bianca
Garrod was
and
on
Sasha.
about.
Yeah,
It was maybe that Carmella comes out, and then
Mm.
Becky comes out, puts herself in the match, and then completely
That's twice she's done that.
squashed it. Yeah, yeah.
But my point isn't like, you know, it's that they have done this many times now where they advertise all of this to happen. They keep advertising things that they know can't physically happen. And because they've got the caveat that is like card subject to change, they just tell people to fuck off on the day. I hate it because the majority of people aren't clued up. Like they just go to a show with their kid, and their kid's like, "Boy, I can't wait to see this guy." And it's like, "This guy's got COVID. Fuck you, kid."
At least they're not Saudi kids, and the Saudi kids are there. I can't wait to see Yokozuna.
I can't believe they asked for Yokozuna. That was
So
that's
they just,
that's a
yeah.
thing that happened.
they just
That's
got a
Isn't this a weird
sumo.
Sorry, isn't this a weird looking beer bottle?
I
I
thought
dig
you were
it,
drinking
though.
wine from the bottle.
I thought it was
know.
like port or something.
Yeah, it looks like a port bottle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a special Peroni.
It's like it's a special Peroni.
For
I got
audio
some for
listeners,
Christmas, I haven't
i.e.
tried it yet.
Brogan, we love you. It looks like a port bottle.
I'll tell you what though,
There you go.
it tastes like a Peroni.
Okay,
Ooh.
Peroni's are
let's broaden our predictions, boys.
I want to,
We've-
I want to shift gear and we'll head over to the competition for a bit. So we'll go over to AEW. This prediction is going to depend on what happens over the next few weeks, but I think Hangman will lose the belt sooner than we think.
I agree.
I feel like
My prediction was also
like
going to be about the world title.
Yeah, I feel like what's happened is like obviously the journey and stuff was done perfectly since he's won the belt. There's not been a lot there. They've not really had him on TV a lot. He's not been wrestling a lot. Like what is his match with Bryan only his second since winning the belt? Like at all?
Well, he's facing Bryan tonight, right? Or is
Yeah.
So he's,
tonight.
okay.
For
Tonight
TBS
is a
launch.
big big show, right? We've got
Yeah.
that. We've got the TBS Championship final with Ruby and Jade, and we've probably got a big. I bet there's a big signing tonight, right? I bet we're gonna get someone show up tonight because it's their debut on TBS. This is honestly, it feels like they have more pay-per-views than WWE with their TV. Like TV feels special. Like when they say that this is happening like on TV or it's a New Year's show or it's a Christmas show or whatever, it feels far more special. And I think tonight is gonna set things up. It could be Bryan, and then
I honestly wouldn't be surprised tonight if Bryan wins. I really wouldn't. I think the thing is with the Hangman thing, and maybe it is still too early. Maybe they've got some stuff still planned, but it feels like from what I've seen, viewership has dropped a bit since he won the belt. They're trying to reclaim that. Notice got worried about this new move. I feel like what better way you're going to get people looking at the product by putting it on one of the big former WWE guys who's got that big fan base.
I don't know. I don't know. But here's the thing, right? People, my biggest problem with Big E, So the reason I wasn't too fussed about Kofi losing the belt, as opposed to Big E losing the belt, Kofi had the story. He had the build-up. He had this amazing story and will always have that story. He had that story that can be an entire DVD collection, right? Where you're like, here's this build-up. Here's the company saying you're a B player. You're never going to make it. And here is the WrestleMania moment where he finally wins and it's fucking amazing. So him losing, to me, it doesn't matter too much because it's just like, he had a very good self-contained story. Big E's rise to the championship wasn't very good. They didn't give him enough to go on. It was not that kind of story. So I was hoping that his story was going to be as a champion. And it wasn't as a champion. The same reason I'm not too fussed if Adam Page loses is because he had that story to become a champion. So he has kind of that self-contained thing. And I don't think it would detract too much from the win if he loses that. He could then go on to feud with Cody and he could take the TNT title. That's fine. So I'm not too bothered if Bryan loses. If Bryan wins.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying it would be a bad thing. Like, I wouldn't be against Bryan winning. I just feel like there's obviously a lot of people are behind Hangman, but I just feel like since he's won the title, it's not like he's felt like the champion, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
There's just been something a bit off about it. Like, I think it's because like when you look at the last previous two, like Moxley and Omega, they were like there wrestling every week and even defending the belt quite a lot. It feels like with Page, they gave him the belt, and even he's said in interviews that he's been frustrated that he hasn't been on TV just wrestling. They've just had him come out doing these little promos back and forth with Bryan, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been partly to highlight other areas.
Yeah,
Punk and Punk isn't tonight, right? He's not fighting MJF tonight, is he?
Not tonight, no.
I feel like they're saving that for a pay-per-view because
I
it feels like
think so.
there's going to be a long play on that one.
Sure. If he loses tonight, I think that Keith Lee could, in fact, be the next champion after, like, taking it from Bryan, perhaps. I think that Keith might even show up tonight. I'll keep saying that every Wednesday and even Friday until it happens, but
I think he's still got about a month left, to be honest.
I don't think he does. I think
when was he released?
He was released quite a while ago at this point.
It feels like a while ago, but I don't think it was.
Also, Tony's saying that he got like he's got a signing he's wanted to sign for a while, a North American signee. And who else could that be?
Gargano.
Can he sign Gargano that quickly if he can't sign Keith Lee that quickly?
Well, Gargano's contract just ran out. He doesn't have to do the 90 days.
He's free to go.
That's why O'Reilly...
Oh, true. He's on the same O'Reilly. He's the same as O'Reilly.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt as well, winning a Rotunda, I think is just kind of still kind of up in the air.
Well, here's a little prediction on that. I don't think we're going to see Wyndham in a ring in 2022.
Really?
I think he's going to be gone from wrestling for a little bit of a long while. It seems like he's quite now involved with doing the Hollywood movie stuff. If that goes fairly well,
why not? Good for him, I say.
Not saying we won't ever see him in a ring again. I still think it's going to be a long time before we do.
Yeah. In terms of AEW, I think the one to take it off Page, and it's got to be Adam Cole. I'm sorry, it's just like for me, I can't. It's either him or MJF. In my eyes, are the two that. Because AEW are very like they're more unpredictable than WWE. I can safely say in WWE this year, Braun Breaker will have a main roster title at least by the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Bronwyn Breaker Steiner.
Bronwyn Breaker.
will have like the IC title, and he'll beat like I don't know Shinsuke Nakamura in 30 seconds, and it will make us all very sad. Meanwhile, AEW, literally, I could name like more wrestlers than I have fingers on my hands that could possibly take the title from Hangman Page, face or heel or tween.
So the stories I think that are going to happen is that the Undisputed Era, or whatever they're going to call it now, is going to obviously end up feuding with the Elite. Whether that's going to be with a tag title involved, with the main title involved, with a new trios title involved, with no title involved, I don't know. But that's the direction I think it's going to go. So I don't think Adam is going to take the main belt yet. I think that the Elite versus Undisputed Era story happens before that. It could play into the story where he takes the belt and then is the leader of the Elite, and then Kenny comes back, and I don't know. I think the story is that the Bucks are going to get fucked over by them, and then the Elite are going to end up as the faces in that confrontation. I don't know.
Also, Garrod, just to let you know, Keith Lee and that lot were released around about the 5th of November. So we still got about a month.
No. He'd be his no compete is up in. I suppose his no compete is up in January. Is it 2nd of February then?
2nd of February. I worked it out with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Okay.
Well, technically the 3rd he can start working again, but
yeah.
Damn. The technicalities of the no compete is that you can't even like sign anything, right?
No.
Technically.
Well, no, isn't it because of Bret Hart they changed that? Because they did have the no compete even back then, but you could still sign in a PA, you just couldn't wrestle. And Bret Hart was at WCW, but he couldn't wrestle. But Keith Lee, here's my prediction: either Keith Lee or Miro become world champion by the end of the year.
Miro's not a bad shout either, you know. Miro's not
You
a
know,
bad shout either.
saying about Daniel Bryan winning it, I would love Miro to be the one to take it from Bryan.
Miro is my favorite wrestler, as Scott will attest. I didn't shut up about Rusev, and I love Miro, and I fucking love him sitting in these blank rooms like goddamn Morpheus from the Matrix. But I don't think he's gonna be a world champion in AEW.
No.
No. I just hope he has some decent feuds. I think that's all I hope for.
That's
all I ever hope for him.
I think Miro's doing and getting way much more respect and chance to prove himself than he ever was in WWE. But I'm with you. I just don't ever see him being. I can see him having main event matches, but I don't see him having a run with the big belt.
I can see him having a title match against a face champion.
Yeah. I could see him being like a good challenger for the belt, but never the one to actually get it.
Well, Keith Lee then. Keith Lee will be champion by the end of the year.
That's someone who I reckon Miro could face. Like that could be the match.
That would be
oh my god!
Just two big hoss.
Yeah.
Two big men hitting each other with their big moves.
Big men
bomb
slapping me.
Big men who have no business being as athletic as they are.
Or as big as they are. Or as acrobatic.
Oh.
They do flips, they kick, they do more flips, but the big power. So they lift high.
I mean, Miro's great, but after just watching Wrestle Kingdom, Jeff Cobb against Keith Lee would be that's my big man dream match right now, because they are both very nice. They're very nice.
Jeff Cobb, Miro, Keith Lee, Volta, Fatal 4-Way,
and me,
coming out. And Garrod in a wheelchair.
So that they have someone to
pin.
And Johnny Knoxville.
Garrod would look like
WrestleMania.
Garrod would look like a crushed Looney Tunes cartoon by the end of that match.
Yeah.
So,
Pancake flat on the mat.
Well, that's the thing, Greg. I've got my bag of Acme tools. So, Volta's running at me. I'm painting a tunnel on the entrance ramp.
If Garrod was in that match, it'd be more like the Piper Perry meme where she sat on the couch and there's all the black men behind her. Just that's what it would be like.
All right, well, have fun editing that, Greg.
No, I'd really like it, like Garrod to lean into the Looney Tunes gimmick. So when he faces Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega does the whole bang thing, Garrod puts his finger on the barrel of the gun, and Kenny's finger just splits apart.
That's so good.
Chucks himself back.
Edit that as well, buddy.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of like in like the big man match, Garrod gets like body checked by Keith Lee, and in the air he just pulls out a little sign that says "Uh-oh."
Help!
Imagine if wrestling followed Looney Tunes rules. Like I'm in a battle royale and I get thrown over the edge and I'm just like, bing, bing, look down. Oh no! And then I fall forever and it's like just a tiny little splat on the ground.
Now, if you're gonna do that, you've got to have someone who's got like a car themed like persona, and then get thrown out of the rumble, and just before they hit the floor they stop, say, "Oh good, I ran out of gas." And then someone a la Looney Tunes back in action says, "That's not how it works." Like, you had to say it.
Keith is running around the ring, and I stop at a ring post like this, and there's a flyer on it with Keith's face on, and he pulls it down. Garrod season, Keith season, Garrod season, season. Garrod season, Keith season.
Walter and Jeff Cobb and just there, just like,
what do we do? It's a Royal Rumble. It's a Royal Rumble. There's a sign saying "Edge of Ring" (parentheses hardest part), and Garrod he almost gets eliminated, but he flips the sign just in time, so it's not the end of the ring anymore.
Not quite Looney Tunes logic, but can we just have it with Garrod going out the ring? He freezes midair, then Barbara O'Reilly starts slowly playing, and you see Namala going,
Yep,
I bet you're wondering
that's
how I
me."
got here.
All right. Well, other than the predictions that the Looney Tunes are going to cross over with wrestling this year, yeah, those are some AEW predickies. Let's just get a really quick: who's winning tonight, Ruby or Jade?
I wanted to
See,
say
this is
Ruby,
hard
but I
'cause
think
of-
Jade's going to win it.
Jade. It's gonna be Jade.
Yeah.
Jade is very protected. I think she's won like 22-0 or something.
I really like Jade. I really like Jade.
Yeah.
I like her even more now. She has Mercedes Martinez in her corner too. Like
That could be the reason for the win. You know, that very well could be. I mean, I love everyone loves Ruby Soho. I think maybe I don't know. I said this and I'm like I don't have a pick, but I think I'm gonna go with Jade as well.
Okay, just to be different, I'll say Ruby.
there we go. Gentlemen, I have a couple of predictions that our friends at Bleacher Report made about 2022. I thought I'd get some quick fire reactions to these.
Right, okay.
I'll keep it to headlines, of course. I won't go into the full article explanations of every little bit and bob. But yeah, first one, of course, one we've spoken about quite a lot, but one Bleacher Report reckons might happen
Looney
this year.
Tunes?
Looney Tunes, yeah, we got it right. No, WWE up for sale, not bought, but up for sale.
I was going to bring this up as one of my predictions. I think because when you think about the sales of these kind of things, when you think about the Fox and Disney one, that was quite a few years in the making. I don't think we'll see the company sold this year, but I think we're going to see that go more into motion. Like we'll hear more about they've had meetings with so and so. Maybe they'll settle on a potential buyer. And they'll start moving forward with like, okay, now they're going to move forward with like selling it to this company or conglomerate
Disney.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Disney,
I think it's in
Or-
America.
If they sell it to HBO Max and Warner Bros, then you can get the Looney Tunes involved.
That's all, folks.
That's
I think it's
what in the suffering succotash?
Ah.
There's
Roman
already
and
that
Sylvester
going on.
having that
There's
back and forth.
layers. There's layers.
No, I'm sure it's a thing in America. If a company goes up for sale for more than a certain amount of money, it has to be approved by the government to make sure there's no dodgy going on.
Well, yeah,
That's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, WWE's going on sale this year, definitely.
Yeah. I'll skip the shockingly even more releases because that's almost a given at this point.
Releases by who?
Yeah. Who knows? Okay. We've talked about trios titles. Adam Cole splitting from the Elite. We've already spoken about. Okay, here's one we haven't spoken about. Dominic Mysterio will turn heel on his father and unmask him.
Sure.
I mean, Ray's been unmasked before, but sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an actual like in the ring unmasking, but I think it's going to be like.
Although
it's going to be a match for the mask.
If Ray's looking to officially wind down, I think his son said he would want to wear a mask eventually. That'd be a cool way of doing it.
Yeah,
unmasks his dad, and then he gets to don the mask. He gets to don the cape and cowl.
Yeah,
he gets to dom the mask.
Oh, very good, very good. Is one that's bloody bonkers and will tickle your earlobes. Elimination Chamber will take place in Saudi Arabia. Thoughts?
You might as well have it in Germany.
Do you mean the pay-per-view? What? Do you mean the pay-per-view itself?
Well, no, in Germany,
literally.
in Germany, it's not allowed to be called Elimination Chamber because that's what they used to call the gas chambers.
I guess that makes sense.
See, with
I thought you were just pulling a random country.
No, you
let me get the thesaurus out, and we'll see what else we can call it.
I'm sure it's called like it's something similar to Hell in a Cell. I'm sure it's something similar to that.
Fun time.
I'm gonna Google it.
The Whoopsie Daisy Arena.
The eradication silo.
The withdrawal cage. Sounds like somewhere addicts go.
So, in Germany, Elimination Chamber is called No Escape.
All right, I like that as a name.
I
Actually,
like that. Yeah,
that's a really good pay-per-view name. I won't lie. I almost like it better than Elimination Chamber. I don't like Elimination Chamber as a pay-per-view. It should just be a match that happens when people need eliminating in chambers.
I think we all agree, apart from Money in the Bank, all the gimmick pay-per-views need to get to fuck.
Yes, they do.
And Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but that's been around forever. I don't really count Royal Rumble as a...
Sure.
But no, Royal Rumble's not really one of them where you can't really have a Royal Rumble apart from at the Royal Rumble. You're not going to have a Royal Rumble at...
Well, they used to. No, they used to have it in random places. And then also they do it in Saudi, I guess.
That's true.
But the Saudis are just saying, like, what's this? We've heard of this. We want this.
You know what I could believe is that the Saudis could easily end up buying a WrestleMania one year. Obviously not this year or the ones to come. I could see a WrestleMania happen in Saudi Arabia.
That's not a bad shout. Maybe not this year.
Definitely not this year. It's all this year. Next year already saw it. I think maybe.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And I also think that I wonder what would happen when they sell, and how that would affect those kind of deals. I mean, that's interesting, but I don't know what. I have no idea how that's going to affect.
Well,
it.
again,
I don't know if they'd have to honor the deal.
I think given the sale will take a while. When they eventually do get a buyer, maybe then the deal will just run out anyway.
The first WrestleMania held in the Epcot Bowl.
Ali says Saudis buy WWE. I mean,
no.
Nah.
I mean, they probably already own enough stock in whichever company would buy the WWE. They won't buy the WWE.
They'll see it more as a novelty than a full-on investment. You know what I mean?
It's not like they're buying a football club, you know, where the returns are probably greater, I imagine.
This is one I really appreciate because it's bold from Bleacher Report, which are pretty mainstream in terms of wrestling media. But despite being opposite heel and face, finally, Bobby Lashley still won't get his match with desired Brock Lesnar.
That's happening at the Rumble.
It's happening at the Rumble.
Is it? Well, bugger me. Well, they're already wrong. How old's this article then?
Please say like 5 days.
Yeah, I'm sure. Is it Monday? Monday, Lashley won a fatal 4-way to be the number one contender.
Scott, does the article say 2022 or 2021?
Take a guess. Just take a guess. Take a guess.
Does it say 2022?
Just take a guess.
It says 2021, doesn't it?
It's 2021, isn't it?
Yep.
You fucking muppet.
It's in tiny, teeny, tiny little writing.
It's the title. It's the title. It's the title of the article, Scott.
It's also in a very light shade underneath the author's name, which, by the way, is Anthony Mango, which is eye-catching in and of itself.
Because
that's a great name.
That's a good wrestler's name. Tony Mango.
Tony Mango.
That's my stage name. I'm Tony Mango.
Big up Tony Mango. Thanks for this article. I'm sorry. Don't beat me up. Sorry, Tony.
Hold on. So far, me and Greg are the only ones who haven't started a feud with someone this podcast.
Now's your chance. Go on.
Me and Greg are just being instigators.
So far on our first Bearhug Club pay-per-view, our main event is Garrod versus Alberto Del Rio. A kind of lower mid card is me versus Tony Mango. What's your matches then?
Well, all of these are also under Looney Tunes rules.
Yeah,
except the Chrisp Deathmatch.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be me and Tony Mango. I am Baby Pringle after all.
Baby Pringle versus Tony Mango in a Chrisp Deathmatch.
If you saw that on a wrestling card, you'd think the promoters were off the tits.
Unless it was progress.
Oh, geez.
So, one bonus thing I think we need to add to the awards next year is best Twitter personality, best wrestling social media personality, and my nomination goes to Cringe Wrestling Takes on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, it's just the highlights of the worst things about wrestling. Here's someone saying, as a response to like what's happening tonight on AEW, and headlining, I think maybe Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson. We'll see. They might go first. And someone replied, "Please don't stretch out the Page and Bryan match again. The first one was boring due to Bryan's lack of good wrestling ability."
Oh, no.
Daniel Bryan's lack of good wrestling ability. My guy, come on.
Literally got an award named after him.
Yeah, for technical
For the
wrestling
fact-
ability.
The guy who only wrestled, he only wrestled for like 3 months of last year and was still like a lot of people's best of the year. Come on.
Yeah.
My
I mean,
guy.
like, if your standards are, let's put this in quotations, that high, who's his favorite wrestler? Are they
James
some kind of
Ellsworth.
wrestling like Adonis, some kind of absolutely Herculean, flawless athlete who's so gifted? And
I mean that tweet is
I'm gonna
dumb,
ask.
but was it you, Garrod, who sent us, or did I find it? Who said the thing was some guy tweeted saying they didn't like AW because they said the thing they hate most about wrestling basically was the actual wrestling.
Yeah,
I
I
think
remember
I sent
talking
that.
about that.
Yeah, it was like something about like I hate AW because all they do is just focus on the in-ring stuff, and it's like that's the wrestling. That's what it's about.
That's literally the whole thing.
Yeah.
if they prefer,
He doesn't
WWE's
have his
out
things open.
stuff,
Doesn't have his DM. You can't slide into his DMs.
if he
He
prefers
hasn't got his DMs
WWE's
open, I can't
out-ring
message him.
stuff, then what kind of telly does he watch?
Like,
I'm sorry. He must be
lots
watching
of soap
Hollyoaks.
opera.
This man must be
His
watching
favourite show is
Hollyoaks
Howie.
Omnibus and being like, "This is Macbeth." Like,
He is actually
seriously.
watching. He is actually watching. He was tweeting about The Chase about 2 hours ago.
This is gripping like Othello, but a game show.
And then 2 days ago, he tweeted 5 times about The Masked Singer UK.
Oh god. Okay, that says all I need to hear.
He said
Sorry,
that
anyone
the
who's a fan of
poodle is
Masked Singer,
Paul
but-
O'Grady. I don't know what that means.
I mean,
And he says that the
that's a
panda
good
is
shout.
Kate
That could
Hudson.
be.
You watch the Masked Singer, Jace?
I don't mind it.
Okay.
He says actually,
I-
bagpipes is
I actually
David
haven't watched
Tennant.
it. No, I haven't watched it. I do like
I-
watching
So
the,
yeah,
the
I
Korean,
don't watch
the
it.
the original Korean version because it's hilarious.
Well, I can imagine that'd just be bonkers, right?
The outfits are gotta be great. To be fair, the outfits on this year's UK one's really weird. Because my mum stuck it on during Christmas, and there was a woman dressed as a chandelier. Was that Christmas? I can't remember. But
No, I think that over Christmas they did like a best of thing where they got all the ones back from previous seasons, but then the new one started like last week.
But yeah, as of recently, someone was dressed as a chandelier. They lost, and it was a celebrity I didn't recognize. I was like, great. Sweet.
One of the funniest
I
things
do not
though,
watch television, so I have no idea.
One of the funniest things is the celebrity like unmasks themselves and the judges have to pretend to know who they are.
Oh
there
my
was one
god, it's you and all the things that you've done.
Oh,
Yay!
It
you
was
came
hilarious.
you came 5th in series 3 of Big Brother. Oh,
Oh no,
it's you.
one of them it was like a Lib Dem politician And in the first season, because obviously the first season was pre-COVID, one of the judges was Ken Jeong of The Hangover and Community and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously American won't know who any UK politicians are. Was like, I knew it was you. It's like, you don't know who the fuck that is, Ken.
Jace, I'm now going to Google Lib Dem MP Masked Singer, and that's going to be your match for the Bearhug Club pay-per-view.
I could take a Lib Dem.
With Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong's in the Lib Dem's corner.
The match is you don't know which Lib Dem MP it is because they'll be
I have to
masked.
guess.
So but you will win the match if you guess it correctly. Either they have to pin you or you have to guess them correctly.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Or
I don't know
unmasked.
any of them. I know Nick Clegg.
It's like, have you ever seen? I forget which one it was. It might have been like some of the Justice League cartoons. There's a bit where I think Lex Luthor ends up in the body of the Flash, and he goes to like a public bathroom. He's like, "Finally, I'm gonna figure out who you are." And he like unmasks, and he goes, "I don't know who the hell this is." That's gonna be you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very good. Any further predictions for the year, chaps?
I did have one, but I forgot because we
Wrestling
got.
wise, I think
Just
that
throw everything out.
I think that a big AEW star will be in the G1, and I hope it's Brian.
Brian G1.
I'm manifesting it. I'm manifesting it.
Garrod's seat is moist.
See,
His gold-plated wheelchair.
see, I'm hoping we end the year.
Continue, Jace.
Continue, Jace.
I was going to say, I hope we end the year with WWE's women's champions not being one of the 4 horsewomen. Because I'm sure for the last 5 years, end of the year, at least one of them has had a championship somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, because that's just still who they're banking on, though. That's still their top 4.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. We need to expand that women's roster. It worked so well originally. Do it again.
What do you think the chances are of someone like Rhea maybe winning the Rumble this year? How's she doing?
I think Vince has given up on her.
She's still in this tag feud. Well, not even a feud. It's like beginning to be a feud with Nikki. And they'll probably get in a they'll fall out at the Rumble properly, and then they'll feud until Mania, where they'll be on the pre-show.
Yeah.
I don't say it as a slight at them. I say it as
I know,
probably.
See, it's going to be Nikki is going to inadvertently cause Rhea to get eliminated because Rhea works better as a heel. And then that's going to turn on her, and that's how the feud's going to start. Because WWE are that predictable.
Well, they'll probably also make Rhea dress up as a supervillain because...
Yeah, probably.
Do we have any predictions that aren't depressing?
I mean...
What about Braun Breaker for Intercontinental Champion, like I said earlier?
I don't think he's leaving NXT this year.
That's pretty fun.
AEW is going to kick WWE's ass in the ratings every week.
TBS tonight, their debut is probably going to do probably 1.5. I would say 1.5. I'm hoping for a 1.5. We'll see. It'll be above a mil, but I'm thinking 1.5.
My prediction is that by the end of 2022, we are going to have a match, a 60-minute hardcore Iron Man match between Darby Allin and Johnny Gargano, and my happiness will peak, and I will be fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right, I'm actually going to give a positive one that I want to happen in WWE. This isn't a prediction because it's not going to happen. It's just what I want to happen.
Uh-huh.
I want from after WrestleMania through to next WrestleMania, the big should be main event, but it'll probably be mid-card feud, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. That's what I want.
No, I know
is
you
what
want
I
it, and
want.
I'm very sorry that he is an
I know.
NXT
I know
right
it's.
now.
I know it. Who?
AJ.
Styles.
Yeah, he's not
Is
going to be
he-
there for long. He's there. It's a
Yeah,
stop
he's
off
not-
feud.
Yeah, Riddle
like
was in
Riddle
NXT.
stopping off there as well. Yeah.
No, it's not like he's going to be there for months, Garrod. Come on.
AJ's
Well,
not going to be
okay,
staying in NXT.
but then do you think he's going to come back and do something fun? Do you think he's going to come back and be used?
He's feuding with Omos. Is that not fun?
Do you think they're even going to use? Do you think they're even going to use Omos? Do you think they're even going to bother?
Are you not entertained?
Because
Hold on.
because
Didn't
because
they
they already trialed their match at a house show and everyone said it was horrible.
Yeah, people
Which
said,
is why it
"Oh,
didn't happen on Raw last week, but I'm pretty sure it happened on Raw last night, right?
Braun Breaker wins
sure
the
it didn't have-
Intercontinental Championship from Omos. I'm calling it.
Looney
That's
Tunes
fun.
rules.
Looney
God,
Tunes
that's
rule.
fun.
When was the last Intercontinental? When was the last Intercontinental title match?
Oh, who
Who's the
even
champion?
Who
has
is
it
the
now?
champion? Is it still Shinsuke?
Shinsuke.
Is
Shinsuke's the
it?
champion.
Shinsuke.
When's the last time he defended it?
To Google.
The day after he won it.
He wants to go back to New Japan for the 50th anniversary this year, though, to be there. I don't know if they'll let him.
Not
They
happening.
should.
Yeah, it's Shinsuke's the champion at the moment. Hang on. When did he win it?
Ages ago. He's had it for
A
young.
long time ago.
He had it at SummerSlam, and he didn't have a match at SummerSlam. Him and Rick Boogs came out and they just did a whole guitar bit, and that was it. It was just like a bit of filler. I don't think he's really even defended it that much. It's like he's just basically it's like a paperweight at the moment.
That's the thing. I find that with WWE, like they'll have a thing going on with
won it in
one
April.
mid-card title.
Oh, no.
April.
No, he won it in August. Sorry, he won it in August. I was looking at the wrong one.
And how many
Apollo
times? has he
Crews had it in
defended
April.
He's probably
Ah,
defended it like 6 times
barely.
in August.
I think
Like,
I saw it
they'll
happen
do-
occasionally on SmackDown, but I don't think he's had that many defenses.
No.
Hasn't
I
he
think
been-
right. What just like what really fucks me off is like he's getting older. We don't have
Yeah.
much. Like I mean, even a
old
young,
is he?
like even someone who's 20, it's like if they spend a year in catering, that's a year of amazing wrestling matches that we've just lost. That we're just
Yeah.
like not gonna get because someone's fucking done this.
Well,
Sorry, one
he's
second. Come on,
41,
buddy.
so
Come on.
he's getting on. Like he's not.
Yeah.
He's nearly out of the prime zone. You know what I mean? I think we've missed the chance of seeing him having the WWE Championship or the Universal title.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Oh yeah. We're long past that.
Well,
I mean,
long
do you
past that.
remember when he was like still red hot in the feud with AJ that just ended up with like 5 matches where they just hit each other in the balls?
Oh, that double dick kick though was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Well, okay, the double dick kick was good. But that was on like their 3rd match where they were kicking dicks
Yeah.
because they had a WrestleMania match, right, where he was face, where they were both in the face. And it was
Yeah.
like, it was fine. And then he turned heel, and we were about to get fucking the King of Strong Style coming out with a crown and being a badass. And they just decided that he just kicked dicks. And they just kicked each other's dick for like
They
months.
did
was
kick each
during-
other's dick.
But that was during a time when dick kicks were just WWE's thing. Because that was happening with AJ and Shinsuke. It was happening with Undertaker and Lesnar. Like it was just a thing. It's like, you know what's funny? Kicking a guy in the
All
dick.
right, there you go. There you go. My prediction for this Friday is that there will be a dick kick on SmackDown. There will be a dick kick on SmackDown. There will be a smack dick.
If it's
SmackDown will be rebranded SmackDick, and Raw will be rebranded Raw Balls.
And every
Great Raw
pay-per-view will
Balls
be
of
called
Fire.
Great Balls of Fire. Hey.
Goodness gracious.
I love you, Scott.
Thanks, man.
No, goodness gracious is what everyone has to say when they get kicked in the dick.
Goodness
Goodness
gracious.
gracious.
Goodness
Great heavens.
gracious.
Oh my.
No, dick kick, hold up a sign, Looney Tunes style. Goodness gracious.
5 and 9.
You get kicked in the dick, and then your eyes just like go around like slot machines until they like land on 2 balls of fire. You know, that's how I'm going to defeat my opponents. Is my manager will be baking a really nice pie outside of the ring, so they'll start floating. They'll start floating out of the ring and get counted out.
This is visible, nice smell coming off of the
Smell
pie.
lines just floating.
Yeah.
You
instead
see them
of like,
go-
oh, accidentally. Yeah. Instead of accidentally, my manager punches me in a match, like because the guy moved out the way. He accidentally like nudges the fan, and it goes into my nostrils. So like, oh, right.
Like, which one of us knows some sort of physicist or mad scientist where we can start making this shit happen?
That can change the
Oh, yeah.
laws
This
of
is-
physics.
I've just got one on
It's
standby.
gold,
you
right?
know.
It's pretty good.
Tell you what, if you're a mad scientist and you happen to be listening to this, just get in touch with us on our email at Bearhug Club on Twitter, on Instagram, you name it.
There you go, Scott.
But-
There we go. Thank you.
I'm going to add the caveat. You need to be a mad scientist. Not just mad or a scientist. You have to be a mad scientist, like, who's a famous mad scientist? Like Doc Brown type level. Mad
You have to have a
scientist.
doctorate in mad science and only mad science.
And that's mad science is in mad science, not mad science.
Oh, no, you can have a doctorate in that as well.
I've never felt whiter.
Never looked at Eva.
And on that note,
we'll end it there. So yeah, if you want to follow us, come check us out on the social media channels at the Bearhug Club Podcast, Facebook and YouTube, Bearhug Club Pod Instagram, and Bearhug Club on Twitter. And if you want to go check out what we're up to, we'll go over to the website, which is bearhugpod.wixsite.com/Bearhug Club Network. That's right, there is a name change in there. Like we were saying at the start there, we've got loads of cool stuff coming for you in the new year. Keep checking on the website. Garrod, myself, all the boys are going to be posting stuff on there, reviews, articles, get some new videos up as well. But until then, everyone, take care. Goodbye.
Bring it on, Tony
Goodbye.
Mango.